Mr. Chairman, we're here today, as you have said, to present this bill, a continuing resolution, to provide funding for the balance of this fiscal year until September 30, and to provide a full year appropriation for the Departments of Defense and Veterans Affairs. As you know, the current 6-month CR expires March 27, so we've got to move quickly, get it over to the Senate, and ultimately onto the White House. As you know, the White House has indicated it does not want a government shutdown, and we all agree on that principle. Consequently, Mr. Chairman, I would request an appropriate rule to bring this bill to the floor. The bill continues current funding levels as set out by the Budget Control Act. However, sequestration, as you know, is now in effect, and the levels in this bill are subject to those reductions. Therefore, the effective funding level in this bill is about $984 billion, as required by the President's sequestration order. H.R. 933 has 3 main parts: to protect our national security and ensure that our troops and veterans receive quality care. The package provides full-year appropriations for defense, military construction, and Veterans Affairs. These bills were the ones that we passed through the House back in December with a hefty bipartisan vote, and then agreed to by the Senate Appropriation Committee, fully negotiated on a bipartisan and bicameral basis in December, that will provide DOD with some leeway to do the best it can with the funding that is given to it subject to sequestration. And of course, continuing appropriations funding is included for the remainder. Without this bill, the Pentagon could face serious funding shortfalls that, when combined with sequestration, would have serious and potentially harmful repercussions in our national security interests. We had the testimony of all of the Joint Chiefs 2 days ago. Ms. Lowy and I had a chance to question them, along with others. All of them said that it's absolutely critical that we pass this bill. And they expressed very strong public support for this CR package. The bill makes critical investments in our national security, protecting core functions like operations to help ensure the continued readiness of our military. For VA, the bill provides about a $2.5 billion increase to make sure we continue to do our best to take care of our veterans. What we're doing with this legislation is right-sizing our military and veteran spending to ensure funding goes where it's best and most effectively used. In addition, we made specific technical changes only where absolutely necessary to prevent catastrophic, irreversible changes to programs and to ensure good shepherding of taxpayer dollars, the so-called anomalies. For instance, we've allowed additional funding for embassy security in light of the Benghazi attacks, offset by a reduction in other spending, and we've worked to ensure that critical law enforcement functions, including Border Patrol and FBI, are continued. We've also extended the federal pay raise, which, as you know, a pay freeze, which, as you know, has effectively frozen the pay of you and me and every member of Congress, along with other employees. In addition, I've submitted a very technical amendment that I would ask the committee to include in the rule. The amendment simply adds the required appropriating clause to Division D of the bill, which was inadvertently left out some days ago. It's abundantly clear that this nation is facing some very hard choices when it comes to how to deal with our finances. It's up to Congress to pave the way for our financial future. But right now, it's necessary if we're to avoid a government shutdown. We must show our people that we can do what is best for our country, keeping the government's lights on, funding essential federal programs and services, and helping maintain our national security. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.